Well, the idea came from wanting to bring beautiful fabrics back into the car, just a higher standard of luxury, and how to best implement that in a space that will totally engulf the passenger. So it was just in a room, as designers do, talking about what could be, what wouldn't be, and also how to best go about producing such a beautiful end product, really.
We were very set on bringing silks in. That was something that we decided on quite early on.
Yes.
Cherica has a fantastic education and scent flavour for silks and cloths, and I think it was your task to try and roam around the inspirations that maybe existed out east in the Orient to try and find these lovely silks that would be appropriate. Exactly.
It was just really about how to get the best texture, the best luxurious look and feel into the car. So as a design team, we just kind of got together and then went about getting the fabrics made while being designed by us. So it was totally a hands-on project and a heartfelt project. And being of textile background, as Giles said, it's really like a passion of mine. I just really love to be able to be doing that at Rolls-Royce for such a fantastic project. So it's quite amazing.
But like all these things, as you follow the creative path, you see things and you say, actually, that works better than the original earlier idea.
Yes.
And I think we decided quite early on, actually, to make sure that the silk had this linear weave, because somehow it felt more rich and opulent in a way.
I think so. I think a lot of people think like silk has to be smooth, but the most richest and most expensive yarns or natural silk, which has a grain to it. So it's, I mean, everybody thinks it needs to be satin, but it's quite opulent to have something with a bit of texture, a bit of difference. And I think that totally like encompass like what Rolls-Royce is about, just the detail. I mean, it's difficult, but it's worth the wait and the time and pressure that went into it.
Yeah. And again, the craftspeople who normally use leather that doesn't have a direction to it, we actually sat with them for many a night, helping them to get this linear weave adjusted to the sew lines in the vehicle and in the seats that exist, and that was fun.
Yeah. After we've come across the ideas that we wanted it to be inspired by the Japanese garden, we thought, what else could there be that will totally encapsulate the car, make it feel more like zen, more beautiful, more relaxing. And we thought about, there's this technique that the Japanese use, it's called unconscious painting, which is where nothing's really defined, but you have to be a state of mind of calm, state of mind of relaxation, and then paint as your hand feels free. So it's that whimsical kind of idea, and it was just quite beautiful for us to actually, you know, come upon this discovery that, oh, you could actually, there is such a thing, because we were kind of like talking about it, thinking, and then when we found out from the suppliers that there is this unconscious painting, we thought, perfect, matches everything that we wanted it to be. Got something beautiful out of it.
We liked the hand painting so much that we actually then decided not to cover it with the embroidery, because there's something very beautiful about those hand-painted fronds that extend over the rear compartment.
Exactly.
And we didn't want to plaster them with too many little embroidered pieces. And obviously the way that you chose the red blossom, the white blossom, and the sort of mounted branch that was exposed, that was key sort of to the final execution, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite an experience to literally it's like 140 meter wide and 2 or 3 meter long, to have to hand pick which one was embroidered and which one was painted. So it just feels quite natural. It feels quite beautiful, relaxing, and your eyes could just gently move over the car, over each part. That's what we wanted to have. We wanted to have that kind of serene
moment
feeling.
Of serenity, yes.
Don't want to repeat it all the time, but yes, it is that.
So the original theme had bamboo very much as a wooden corresponding colour to the green, the smoke green of the fabric. But in a way, there were too many pails, and I think we then inspired ourselves from the the strength of the dark tree trunks, the cherry trees, in these lovely raked white Japanese gardens. We wanted something a little bit more contrasting, but I think you managed to get bamboo back in there somehow.
Yes, somehow we fought and got that in, and we just thought that it was quite beautiful the way the smoked cherry with different types of lacquer on it could give an effect of light going into dark. So on the edging of the rear seat, there's like a dark effect of the smoke wood, and then it goes into a light area, which really encapsulate the whole car and touches on the brown areas in the headliner, and it just all pulls together. So we wanted it to be from top to bottom, across side to side, just your eyes going over, feeling the whole craftsmanship and attention to detail in the car. So we really chose silk because of its opulence, really. It's got so many different textures. I mean, it could be quite smooth, it could be quite rough, it could be quite bumpy, the boucles, all the different characters about it. It's just quite an interesting fabric to work with. And also, if you want to go a bit further, in the 1900s, they used to have silk. I mean, all of the different queens and aristocracy, they used silk. So as Rolls-Royce, it's only natural that we go to that standard and higher. So.
Yes, I mean, it was this sort of idea that from the drawing rooms of the aristocratic nobility at the time, it wasn't long before they actually transitioned their wall coverings, their furnishings, into their personal carriages, and it's that sort of inspiration that we look back on, and inspired silk to be very much the chosen cloth that we would use. And it has this lovely shimmer value as well, isn't it? It's this reflective value.
Which was basically from working with the mill to use different colors to just give a little bit of shimmer to it, just like as you could probably see from the exterior of the car. So we wanted a holistic design, something that it picks up on little things throughout the car. So whether it's brown or, I mean, you haven't seen the brown, but there is brown in that silk, just to give different highlights. And it was just quite spectacular, the end results. And
with the weavers, we created that fabric purely for Rolls-Royce. It's unique to the vision that you had at the beginning. And a fascinating point for me was that actually the importance of the backing cloth. And there's a bronze brown that sits behind the turquoise green, which means that as it rolls over surfaces on the side of the seats, it actually shimmers through in a very sort of pearlescent fashion. And again, those little discoveries that we made, that you made along the way, really helped give something very, very special, very rich to that
just made it
fabric.
Truly bespoke. It really was that idea, just how to differentiate. It can't be used by anyone else. It's ours. It's our design, our pattern that whenever we want to, we could be like, can you get this for us? So it was really nice to have that one-on-one with the mills. Each process we had one-on-one with the people that we're working with, which is very helpful because normally they don't see anyone. They just get a meeting or with the marketing team, but they were quite surprised to see like actual Rolls-Royce designers, we're here with them, and just loved the whole process of it. So I think
you knew what you wanted, didn't you?
The
team had that lovely vision, and I think whether it's a stately home or an aristocratic mansion, there's always something that inspires with these lovely silk wall tapestries or the Japanese Oriental influence that I think came about probably a few months into the project. We centred on this idea that we would bring in this Oriental theme to the silks. We chose a dark, straight-grain smoked cherry wood, which we felt went very well with the smoke green silk fabric on the rear of the car, and also gave the chance to really let the mother of pearl inlays to stand out. And yes, it was very much light fabric and sort of dark wooden emphasis that we wanted.